Hey, good evening. Welcome to episode 3 of Cattle Drive Live, hosted by myself, Brett Carter. And just so everybody knows, his microphone does work tonight. Corey Thompson. How are you, Corey?
Hey, doing well.
Good.
Beautiful day
How's,
up here in South Dakota today.
is it really? That's good to
Yeah.
hear. Sun shining, I guess.
Yeah. It's been dry and wind was down, and it couldn't ask for a prettier day in November.
Oh, that's good.
How's
That's
the weather
good.
been
Good.
down your way?
It's good. It's nice. It actually warmed up a little bit for us this time of year. I mean, it's still
Yeah.
obviously nice and it's still dry.
Yep.
My part of Oklahoma could sure use just a little shot of rain, but that's
Yeah.
okay. So my granddad said it's always rained. It's just a matter of when. So
Yeah, that's right.
but anyway, hey, good to be here tonight. Lots of anticipation kind of this week. I know we had a big first week. Got to go to Louisville, spent some time out there visiting with our friends and promoting Cattle Drive Live and obviously our new venture with the Drive Marketing, and that's kept us busy this week. But man, I'm excited to be back here tonight.
You bet. Absolutely. Yep.
Yep, and big night for us too. Last week Louisville was wrapping up when we were shooting our show, and I think that day or the next day, I'm not real sure on the day there, but the one of the highlights of the year is a senior college judging contest each year in Louisville, and hey, Pistols Fire and Oklahoma State comes up on top, coached by our buddy Dr. Parker Henley. And you called and said, "Hey, we've got to get these guys on the show. What do we do?"
Yep. I just thought that was pretty coincidental that a school right there by you won, and a school right by me was reserve national champion in South Dakota State, and I just thought it just kind of fell into place where we happened to know the guys and could get them on the show, and we're happy to have them.
Oh yeah, it's going to be exciting when we get to them in a minute. I don't know really that either one of them know for sure if they're both going to be on or not. But hey, I'll tell you something as special as having those two high caliber friends of ours on the show is also to have today Miss Phoebe Rogers, who is the high individual.
High point individual, you bet.
Absolutely, and it's really cool. We're going to get around to some highlights of her and some things about her, but Dr. Henley told me today that it was really cool. I got it wrote down here so I didn't mess it up. She is one of only 10 females to ever be the high individual. Get this, 6 of them from Oklahoma State University.
No kidding.
How about it? Yeah. So I just thought that was really cool. We'll have her on in a little bit too. So, hey, let's get fired up on this segment 1, the coffee shop, current events within agriculture. Obviously, North American just wrapped up.
Great show. That's more people I talked to that were down at that show just could not get over with the number of people, the number of cars in the parking lot. Coming off of last year's kind of subpar, no visitors type of a show. Boy, that place was packed. I mean, it was absolutely packed.
Yeah. And I tell you, you didn't have to be there very long to know it wasn't just packed with people and animals. It was packed with quality animals because they didn't care what aisle you went down or whose stall you was behind, visiting with somebody. Everybody had brought the goods, and that was refreshing too.
That is for sure. That is for sure.
You bet. And so, I mean, obviously you can go to the Pulse, our good friend Sullivan Supply. They carry all of those Open Junior, the steer show. You can go back and look through each breed. A lot of them have division champions, bull champions, and it was really neat for me to get to be there and then go back and look. So good time. We visited a little bit about the judging contest that we'll talk about here after a while. Cattlemen's Congress entries. They will accept those entries, late entries, until December the 3rd. What about National
Denver National Stock Show out there? Those entries will close January 1st for all juniors and opens and the yard cattle out there.
January 1st. So it's all creeping up on us pretty quick.
Yep.
Holiday weekend. So don't get fat and sassy on turkey and forget to turn your entries in. And so
you bet. Can't go if you're not entered.
No, that is exactly right. Some of us enter and shouldn't go. So I know what that's like. So, but hey, what about it's segment 2, the Bankers Cup? I don't know about you, but this has kind of started to get kind of catch a little fire here. And there's a friend of ours that believe it or not, as goofy looking as he is, he does know his stuff. And I don't know if he's with us tonight. He's probably just that busy. No.
Yeah, baby. We gonna do it. What's up, Corey?
Hey.
What's going on, Donnie?
What you doing, Brett?
Hey, what's up there, Donnie Ray?
Hey, baby.
What's the market like this week? Is it good? Is it bad?
Corn. Hey, we's up today. Okay, corn up 5 3/4. Wheat up 28 1/4. Chicago wheat 24 1/4 up. Beans up 11 3/4. Soybean meal up 2 1/4. Oats down 13 1/2. Yeah.
Oats are down. Cattle, everything else is up.
The cattle was 9,000 headed OKC, and they be 2 to 6 higher. And I hear some 133 fat cattle trading up north.
Ooh, fat cattle 133 deal. Fat cattle.
That was a Twitter rumor. Now that was all on Twitter.
Oh, so now you're on Twitter.
Oh yeah. I follow a guy on there, and he knows all of it.
He does. I figured you were more of a tweeter than a Twitter.
Yeah. Hey, I got a new deal, Brett.
Okay, talk to me.
I got a new deal.
Be fast.
Me and you and Corey and that guy from down there at Medill, that real famous guy down there, we're going to partner up. I just need a few partners.
What are we partnering on?
I got a new deal. It's showfish. Okay. We're gonna have some showfish.
Showfish.
Okay. Yeah. I got these water trailers. I'm gonna start my own registry. The whole deal.
And you get going on that, and we'll talk about it next week.
If they ain't no good, all you gotta do is flush them.
You're right. Okay. Hey, get out of here. We'll talk to you next week. Stay after that market, boy.
Yeah.
Good to see you. I don't know about that guy, Corey. Hey, big sale report week, section 3, herd report. I guess with Louisville, everybody just kind of threw the brakes on. There were some special sales this week, a few little odd and end SC sales. Talk to me real quick. Give me some highlights.
There was a couple of them sales in Louisville. The Greenhorn family had their sale that they have every year there in Louisville. Had their lot 1 bull highlighted. It brings 62,400. The special reserve Simmental sale. The high seller in that deal was 52,000. Them sales were hot. The Jensen Angus sale, their production sale, it was day before yesterday. 23 lots, averaged 10,490 with an Angus daughter topping that deal at 20,000 out of SAV Rainfall.
Wow.
The Bonham sale, which we did a drive marketing deal on that there 2 weeks ago. That Bonham sale. They sell a Here I Am steer for 26,500. Dave Geyer Cattle Company sold choice of 2 Angus heifers in Louisville there in an online sale he had. That choice brings 44,500. Minert Show Cattle, he had a Silvera Style daughter. Top seller brings 16,000. Buck Cattle Company, another drive marketing deal that we did there last week. He sold 27 Maine and Hereford bulls, average 5,300. Son of Epic was the high seller at 11,000. Green Hills Gelbay there in North Carolina sold a balancer female on show circuit for 14,500. TC Reds, we just did that one a couple days ago there for the Bayer family there in Wisconsin, a drive marketing advertisement. They sold 25 head of Red Angus females, averaged 8,000 with the top of 24,000.
Wow.
Really good sale. Congratulations to the Bear family there in Wisconsin. Phil Hallback averaged 6,500 with a top of 10,000 on his steer sale there last week as well on Show Circuit.
I'll be dang. Hey, and I just heard this week that obviously the steer show just wrapped up in Louisville. 3 of the top 5 steers
I
in
saw
Louisville
that today
sold
on Facebook. Yeah,
at it. All sold through SC Online. So
SC Online sales. That's impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure most of them have heard of SC by now. If you hadn't, you're missing out. I mean, they got a good platform, so good stuff.
On that note, if we get into segment 4, if Paige has got it, if it's loaded.
One of my favorite things to do in between loading sales for the greatest online sales company in the world, Show Circuit Online Sales, is watch Cattle Drive Live. Gonna need some more episodes pretty quick, guys.
Speaking of Show Circuit, their representative Tyler Humphrey sent us that last week, and he's
a big fan. He's a big fan, and so and I don't mean big in size. I mean like he really enjoys what we're doing. So
you bet.
Hey, send us your funny Snapchats, text messages, and we'll get them on there for you to see. So hey, segment 5, we're going to get into the meat and potatoes, and we're going to bring in Dr. Parker Henley and Miss Phoebe Rogers.
Hey guys,
welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Big week for those Oklahoma State Cowboys and Cowgirls.
Yeah, it was great. Obviously, when you have success, everything looks good. But we've had a fun week of our alumni and supporters around the state kind of cheering us on and congratulating us. And so you really don't realize how big the Oklahoma State network is till something like this happens.
Right.
Absolutely.
Hey, so talk to us real quick, Phoebe. Tell us something. Introduce yourself to the world if they don't already know who you are. We're going to find out who you are, hopefully through here. But you're just so daggum talented that we're going to get to see your pretty face again in the ring. I can tell you. But tell us about yourself.
You bet. Well, first of all, thanks for having me on. This is a pretty cool opportunity, and I'm really excited to be here. My name is Phoebe Rogers. I originally grew up in Southwest Oklahoma, Amber-Pocasset area. And then further into high school, I moved to Texas, around Graham, Texas, and I graduated there. I ended up going and judging in junior college at South Plains College in Levelland, Texas. And now I've made myself come back to Oklahoma, and I'm in Stillwater going to school at Oklahoma State. So
awesome. So were you always going to come to Oklahoma State? Was that a goal of yours? Was that what drove you to Oklahoma State?
Honestly, it kind of was a goal of mine. There's some Oklahoma State lineage that runs in the family, and I just kind of wanted to live up to the expectation a little bit. And I knew the program growing up, going to contests and being involved with people within the animal science department all through growing up. And, when I was kind of searching for places to go to college, nothing else really felt like home, quite like Oklahoma State did. And then everybody there is just so enjoyable, and everybody has done extremely well at making accommodations work. And it's just been a great place to be.
Good stuff.
No. Did they have a welcome home party for you when you got back, or?
Yeah, a little. We didn't. With that night, we got back super late. Time. You take pictures down on the green shavings and walk back and forth the south wing a few times. We didn't get home till about 2:30. But the next day, they were pretty exciting. We've had invitations to go down to the Capitol here coming up to go eat dinner with President Schrum of the university. We're gonna get to go on the basketball court here at one of the games this spring, and we may. They say we may get on the big board here for the Bedlam game. We'll see. So.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's been pretty fun, and you'd think this is Oklahoma State's 21st national championship. So
wow.
that we were tied with Iowa State at 20, and so 2021 makes Oklahoma State the winningest university of all time. And you'd think that they would get a little bit numb to having a national championship team, but just there's been a tremendous amount of people. I mean, it's wild to know some of the old guys that they text me before I didn't even know how they would know yet, getting messages from Eddie Sims and other older guys like that. Not to say he's old, but just reaching out, congratulating. There is not a more loyal group than the Oklahoma State alumni.
That's good. While I was in Louisville, there was a whole, I think it would have been the 40-year team, maybe 41-year team was an Oklahoma State team that was there, coached. I guess they started with Dr. Crop.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe spring to fall, they changed to Kim Brock.
Yep.
So we got to see those guys and visit with those guys there in the hotel lobby the day before. And just the excitement in some guys who were there 40 years ago. I can only imagine what it was like for you two to got to experience that.
Yeah, it was really neat. I mean, a couple of the people that were at the banquet were like, man, that banquet kind of turned into an OSU pep rally. Because we had the 40-year team there that was introduced, and then the 10-year team, which got held over from COVID. So we had two of the reunion teams, and then obviously we had a very good day as well. But so yeah, it was neat to have those people there.
I got you.
Hey,
you guys, tell me something. Yeah, go ahead, Corey.
You guys knew you had a lead going into the results from your points dropped. Do you worry as a team member, as a coach, about an unmarked card or something, or how comfortable were you the night before the awards?
Well, as a coach, I don't know if I've really ever felt that way before. I mean, normally these contests are very, very close. And, I knew when they came out and, there was a few classes that were a little challenging, a steer class, and we had really good cards on it. I was feeling really good. And, they actually give us a verification sheet on our placings, and they tell us, hey, this is what we have in the system. It allows for check any human error, anything like that. And so after the critique was over and I grabbed that pretty immediately and started looking through it, I realized we didn't have any, and, no blank cards. And I was like, okay. And I knew this team. Go ahead, Brad.
So you knew basically the night before the awards that as long as your kids talked what they were capable of.
Yeah, that's kind of the way. And they call out some high sets here or there, and we had got called for several. And this team, had been one that had been consistently very good in reasons. We had some up and down days marking cards, but we won reasons at the Cattlemen's Congress, the Patriot, Dixie National, or San Antonio. We're in the top couple at Houston, and then several times throughout the fall in the American Royal. So I knew we were capable of talking well, but when they came out with those good of cards, I was feeling pretty solid.
That's awesome. Yeah. So Phoebe, I was informed of this. I did not look it up. So if I'm wrong, I want you to correct me. You win by 13 points. Is that right?
13 points. Yes, sir.
That's incredible. And I was also told you're the 10th. You are the 10th female to ever win the high individual at senior college level.
The 10th one. Yep.
And being an Oklahoma State alum, I can believe this because that's just how we roll. You're the 6th one from Oklahoma State. 6 females from Oklahoma State of those 10. Is that right, Doc?
Yeah, that's correct. If you want to, Minnie Lou Bradley, which hangs in the Saddle and Sirloin Club, was the very first woman. We had a young lady in 91, Donna Knight was the second, and then we've had 4 of them here more recently. Ashley Judge, Jessie Judge, Kylie Patterson, and then Phoebe Rogers.
That's awesome. That is just so good. And I've also heard through the grapevine, this might not be your first time, Phoebe, to be on a champion team in Louisville. Is that right?
Yes, I was a part of the champion junior college team at South Plains in 2019.
That's awesome. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to Coach on what you've done. Is there anything you want to add that we've missed, Phoebe?
I think you guys covered it pretty well.
You did. Well,
Hey, I'm not from that area, Brett, but don't they got like a something they do with their fingers?
It's something like that right
like
there.
that.
Pistols
Okay.
firing, little son. That's
I
right.
wasn't.
Yeah.
I've seen it before. I just never.
Yeah, well, now don't wreck them tech on us now. Now there's a little difference there. And so, but hey, Phoebe, congratulations to you and good luck with everything that you've got going for you moving forward. And I hope to get to visit with you someday in person. But for right now, from us at Cattle Drive Live and the Drive Marketing, congratulations.
Hey,
Thank you very much.
congratulations, Phoebe.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You betcha. Have a good evening. Hey, Doc, I got a little bit of surprise. We've talked about it. I don't know if you know, but I got an old nemesis of yours here tonight too.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, we're good. Go ahead, Corey.
Hey, Brady, we're glad to have you here on the Cattle Drive Live.
Good to be here. Beautiful
Brady
day in South
Jensen,
Dakota.
The head coach there at South Dakota State University, the coach of the Reserve National Champion team. Tell us about that experience. I happened to run into you guys the night before the awards deal there in the motel. And I seen you guys having quite a bit of conversation. Did you know that, you were up and had a vying spot at that second hole at that time?
Yeah, we were feeling pretty good after the critique and official placings that came out. The team we just got 8 kids. It's a small but mighty team. And we've had a really tremendous year. We've had some real high highs and a few low lows, as we talk about with our team. And the trip from the time we left Brookings, South Dakota, minus one vehicle breakdown issue on about 4 hours into the trip, it was a tremendous trip. The kids were just in a great place. They were enjoying their last trip. This group of 8 was like family. They were really close, all transferred actually into South Dakota State. And they're great livestock kids. They walked into that contest with confidence, handled it like professionals. And when they walked out, they put themselves in a great position at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
That's good stuff there. So tell us, when Corey called me last week with this grand idea to have one or both of you guys on the show to visit about your success that you've had recent, I told Corey, I said, maybe we need to check with these guys and make sure that they're okay with each other being on at the same time. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. Livestock judges and coaches can sometimes come with some personality. And so it was like, let's just double check. And so I had talked to Parker and Dr. Parker, and I said, so you got a problem with this? And he just laughed and said, absolutely not. There's nobody more that I would rather have on with me than Brady. And I was like, really? Why? And he said, we were college roommates, dude. And so thanks to Paige, we went and dug up a little bit of y'all's past. Thanks, social media.
I don't know if we wanted to see this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is just the beginning of it. Well, hey, so
no.
Houston.
Oh, gosh. Boy, Parker, that looks a few pounds ago on both you and I's behalf there.
We had drank a few of those, I think, that night there. I believe that was Brady's 21st birthday party.
I was just getting ready to say that. I might have just turned 21 that night.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
That previous photo there was at Houston, and Brady would give me one of the finest sets of reasons I'd ever heard in my life.
Market lambs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Got a Canadian friend in there too from Brady's wedding there. So
yeah, there you go. Hey, so let's dig into something tonight that's different. I mean, now that we know who both of you are, you guys have kind of had the floor to talk about what you do and what, but let's dig into something a little bit different. I spoke to a guy tonight, Dr. Bob Morton, and he called, guy 70 something years old and loves agriculture. And he was like, "What's the topic?" And I told him tonight, and he was like, "Well, what about talk to those guys about livestock judging? Don't just talk about what we're doing, winning Louisville. Let's talk about livestock judging." And so let's dig into that. Talk to us. You guys tell us a little bit, discuss judging, the recruiting trail trends. I want to hear some real world stuff. I mean, you guys are teaching the next generation of livestock evaluators. And as it's inevitable, the ones that catch fire, the ones that get selected, the ones that get asked to do national level stuff, they can become a trendsetter, and you guys are putting that imprint on these young people today, yourselves being some of those trendsetters in terms of judging today. But fill us in. I mean, how's a kid get started? What do you do? What do you look for?
Boy, that's a big question. I think Parker and I could talk about that for days. I would say that, we could talk about Parker and I's path a little bit and tell you maybe how him and I not just became coaches, but got involved with livestock judging. And maybe we can cap off with talking about the final part of your question. But perfect. I would say Parker and I are a little bit different, a little similar. And obviously being so close, we probably know quite a bit about each other to talk about this back and forth. But neither of us probably judged an astronomical amount in 4-H or FFA. I did a little bit, and my mom and my dad were my coaches. Obviously, I was pretty blessed from that regard to have two people that got to do it a little bit, but we didn't formally practice. I wasn't really ever educated on how to give a set of reasons much until I went to two of Dr. Shockey's judging camps in the summer. And that would be a person that Parker and I both probably could talk about him crafting us into who we are. And he never was directly my coach, but through his judging camps, that was essentially my 3 days of practice for 2 summers as a kid growing up. And, those were big days, in my opinion, and that's what led me to probably go be a part of a judging program. Now, the recruitment has changed tenfold since Parker and I were even freshmen at the junior college level. When I went, the reason I went was when my mom and dad had big strings of Hereford cattle getting ready for national shows. There was a lot of judging programs that would come to Cortland, Kansas and bring their teams, and I would get to sit and listen to all the trendsetters at the time. Chris Mullinex, Dan Hogue, Scott Shockey, Brandon Callis, are some of the people that come to my mind that I got to sit and listen to and learn from. And then they'd always have them give a set of reasons to my mom or dad, and I'd get to sit and listen. That's how I kind of got involved in it. Now, no kid's the same. Obviously, I was blessed with tremendous opportunities, and I'll let Parker take over what got him to his freshman year at junior college. But I will say one thing about the recruitment part of it. That's the hardest part, in my opinion, is how in the world do you find these people? It's not like we're a college football team with a recruiting staff and scouting staff all over America. We just ask, our friends, people like you two. Corey's probably giving me a tip all the time. Hey, have you met this family, this kid, or something like that? And that's my best opportunity to get to know them. But when they come to me, I tell them 2 things that can make you good at livestock judging. If you love livestock, and you love livestock people, you can be really, really good at this. And that's what I believe. Now, that may not be popular opinion because there's incredible 4-H and FFA programs that they do a lot of reasons early on. And I got my butt whooped by them when I started in junior college. And I'll segue to Parker here, and he can talk about that growing up, doing it, and what gets you to that college game.
Yeah, you bet. I'll just echo that. I'm a big proponent of, when you're young and we want you to be involved in judging, but, you don't have to max out your skill set as a 4-H'er to be good at college. That's a big thing. I never really judged at all. I didn't know anything about it. I just showed some livestock. I'm going to give him a shout out since I seen him write a question a little bit earlier ago, but I'd met Brigham Stewart one time, and I'd asked him. I thought about college judging. I heard about it. And I was like, "Hey, where do I go?" And he's like, "Well, you got to go to Butler. That's where I went." Typical Brigham Stewart fashion. Everything he does is the best. And so. I was like, okay, sure, why not? And so I ended up going there, and it was great. But I didn't know really. I was just a hillbilly from Missouri that family raised some cattle and showed stock and ran cows on fescue. We did. It was great there. We had a great coach, Brady and I did, and Chris Mullinex, who was very, very intellectual. And then at K-State, I had Chris and then Scott Shockey, which provided a nice contrast and helped out with a lot of things. So that was just my background. Like I said, recruiting, when I went to K-State, and I ended up, I never got a call from anybody. Dr. Shockey wasn't even there the day I went and visited. It's just, I made my decision where I wanted to go. I knew it was a great spot. There was good livestock people around there. And it's changed some since then. It's more competitive on the recruiting side, but big thing is make a good decision that you want to. That's best for you. Is if I could tell kids, and you're going to have a group of alumni or people to support you, and find a good spot that'll do that.
Gotcha.
We had Chad Holtkamp on here a couple nights ago. He did a drive marketing deal, and Chad made the comment about, and as many as you two can testify to it, I can testify to it. How much without that, he said, he just kind of reiterated that his cattle program, his success that he's had in the cattle world would not have been what it is today without livestock judging. Just how that's just got to be so cool for you guys. Having the talented juniors that you have and watching them 10 years from now, the success they're going to have, that's got to be so cool.
Yeah, the eye-opening experiences that we witnessed as collegiate judges, and we get to chance to expose these kids to is phenomenal. I have a wide array of parts of the country that are on my team. I have 8 students. We have a sheep rancher from Wyoming to corn farmers from Indiana. And when we load up and go to the van and either head to the hills of Kentucky to go judge some Hampshire sheep, or we're down in Texas judging slick steers, we're going to some of the best places in South Dakota that have, some of the premier seed stock cattle, and to see their facilities and get the opportunity to talk to the owners, operators, managers of those places, the light bulb moments that you get to witness in those kids' brains are awesome. And you just know that 10, 20 years from now, you're talking about, there's probably a lot that will go back to, hey, Corey Thompson or Brett Carter said this when we were at their place, and it got me thinking, and it sent me down a path in life. And that's one of the greatest joys of coaching. Obviously, Parker and I are tremendously happy about the success of our teams. This just being my 4th team that I've coached at South Dakota State, already seeing those first couple teams hit their careers and doing big things is awfully unique to see the impact that those people will make. And I'm sure sitting in Dr. Shockey's shoes that Dr. Henley mentioned, the amount of people that he got to watch those moments happen, and he got to expose them to this livestock world. Really, I always call it the game or the whole machine, maybe the whole machine of the livestock industry. I feel like we get the opportunity to have them young people see those moments and make a machine bigger and greater than it is today.
Right. So you just hit on that just a little bit. You get to see those light bulb moments. You get to experience that with those. But come on, I know both of you, and I know your involvement in junior livestock before you were coach of the year and before you were at South Dakota State University. I knew those things. What was that like for Doc, for you first? What was that like for you to know that a set of kids that you recruited is the national champion and you are the coach of the year. I mean, what kind of emotion is that for you?
Yeah, no, you're right. It is very exciting. You know, this was when you coach at Oklahoma State, there is like I said, there's a tremendous amount of pressure and there's a lot of people watching and there's a lot of expectations. And so to see them put together a day and all the hard work you put into it is extremely exciting. And I spent a lot of time with this team. I wasn't coaching last year, so I got to work with them a little longer, and you know that I was really, really close with all of them. You know, and like Brady said, I have some young people on this team that you just see and how they act as professionals, and you just like, I wonder what they're going to be doing in 10 years. I mean, they have whether it's the Macy Gretzkas or the Maddie Haynes or, you know, Phoebe or Tanner Walden or Ty or several other ones, Grace Harris. They're just young professionals that are like, you look like somebody's going to hire you or you're going to do big things. So,
right. And it's just a fraternity. I mean, you guys, I never judged. I guess I probably sure wasn't talented enough to judge, I don't think, but I never judged. But those guys that I know that did, it's a fraternity like none other. And I mean, whether you guys were teammates or you judged at K-State and, you know, whoever else judged at Oklahoma State, you guys as a whole are an impressive fraternity.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And, you know, I know you were asking a little bit about this and trends and everything like that at the beginning. And, you know, me and Brady could talk about several times that we stayed up late after the bars or something like that and visited about what the ideal animal would be like or, you know, how are we going to find the next one and, you know, whatever we're going to do. And that's before we thought about being coaches. And bottom line is that we're always changing. I mean, if we think what we liked in 2013, you know, in college is what needs to be picked right now, that's wrong. I mean, I think that'd be saying that we as breeders of cattle have done a bad job, right? And
Right.
you know, I mean, yeah, everybody says, oh, we're in this trend to make them stout. And, you know, Corey and I talked about that this summer when we sat at the Maine and Key Junior Nationals. You're right. But, I mean, I don't think we've decided that we'll take them unsound, you know, either. I just think we're getting good at breeding cattle now. And we have all these advanced technologies that we got to have everything, in my opinion. Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a segue into that next discussion or not.
No, it really was. So, Brady, let's talk about that. I hit on it just a minute ago. We talked about some trendsetters in the business. And, I mean, obviously you guys have grown from being a part of junior livestock to probably being some influencers and trendsetters, I would say, within the ring. How does some of those things that you feel like Corey and you visited, Parker, about muscle, or we talk about body depth, or we talk about cattle today that have a unique presence about them, or, you know, so what? Their necks come high on their blades, and I've got these real fancy, cool terms. How does that translate to that other guy? I mean, how does that translate outside of our world? Talk about those things that we consider trends and unique features. How does that translate?
That's a tough question for me to answer because when I think of, we talk about the ideal animal with Parker, and I was probably sometimes the unpopular opinion of, I'll go back to these, you know, late night conversations we might have had with Parker and I and people like Brandon Machado and Spencer Scotton and Jack Oates, another Louisville champion that a lot of you guys know. That group was part of them that we could probably stay up many hours chasing those ideals. And I would be the guy probably arguing, you know, I grew up obviously Hereford cattle and we showed, but primarily where our focus has been is production, you know, raising commercial bulls. And that's where the word trend to me has got a lot of connotations to it. You know, to me at the root of it, I like them, you know, in terms of structure, body, function. The word EST sometimes to me, or how EST is used, can be kind of an interesting thing, because why does it always have to be the most? Why can't it just be the best? Is a lot of times my argument. And, you know, a perfect balance of all things is what I'm always chasing. And I get excited. I get just as excited as anybody else when you see that wild looking, out there looking critter But Parker will probably be the first to tell you, I'm probably one of the first guys that's going to go, gosh dang, but did you see this thing? And I've learned, and my number one critic and cheerleader is my wife. And I remember as a young buck, and I'm far from old, but as a young buck, I got the opportunity to judge a few shows out of the gate, 21, 22 years old. And the maturity that show judging gave me at an early age was something that I think is paying dividends now, but there was a lot to learn out the gate. And, I continue to learn to this day. And what I always tell my judging students is, they all come up probably from operations that, showed competitive livestock, raised competitive livestock. Maybe they just fed cattle. But at the end of the day, they knew something that made their family money and something that they were thinking about was probably right. And I learned as much from them as they learned from me. I learned as much from going down to 605 and hanging out with Corey and crew and about what they're doing with their main on Jew or shorthorn cattle. And I take something home every night and learn from it. And I remember judging show steers early out and the trends at the time were exciting. I was a fresh college kid and I was amped up to get to apply some of those things. And boy, I learned really fast watching those things mature for the rest of the year. Hey, let's get back to what matters and what's right. And you're going to learn a lot more if you stay rooted in what's true and correct, and then add those little extra things at the end.
Right. I heard, and I'm going to just have to say his name, and he can hate me later. Mark McClintock and I were visiting one time about the importance of guys being on a judging team and learning just what you talked about, the fundamentals of looking at livestock. And he said that the problem with, if you know Mark McClintock very well, he's found a problem. He said, I just want guys would desynthesize these guys after they get done judging and be like, okay, rein it back a little bit. Let's get back over here, and then now y'all take off. And so I've always laughed internally about just how true McClintock was when he said that, and you just said it yourself, that I came out of the gate and it was like, whoa, I got to slow up a little bit and maybe get back in this lane. So,
well, you're right. Part of our job is to get some of these young people confident in their abilities and believe that they're right. And so when they do get out of judging, if we did a good job, they really believe it. And they sure want to convince everybody else that they're right and smart. And, it's a little bit of a learning curve, but if you're standing out there in the ring and you question yourself, it's not going to be a very good day. It's going to be a long one. And so there's both sides of it. And as you get older, you just kind of settle in and figure out, I maybe don't need to talk about that. Heck, I see it, but let's don't worry about it. Let's move on.
Right. Good deal. Well, hey, guys, thank you for your time tonight. Corey, you got anything else? You got anything you want to add? This has been one of my favorite episodes, not just from having you two on here, but just the knowledge and getting to kind of break down livestock judging with two guys that's, hey, as fresh as it gets. You two are at the top of the game. So
thank you.
We're enjoying tuning into the Cattle Drive live. We're ready to watch it blow up.
Yeah, well, I sure hope it does, and if it blows up, it's going to be from guys like you. It's not Corey and I promise you. Hey, guys, thanks again. Appreciate coming on. Congratulations, both of you guys, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thanks a lot, guys. That was awesome.
How about it? Yeah, I'm sorry if it was in viewer land right now. We've been 43 minutes tonight, Corey, and I got to tell you, I don't know what we would have cut off. I mean, I don't know. So,
yeah.
Hey, I'm liking over here. Oh, Joel DeRushi says, I'd like to hear Corey discuss pig judging trends from his vast Puckawanna training.
Talk a little center ham width and
yeah. I tell you what, you did get to learn under a true livestock man right there, and Joel's dad.
Very much an honor. Yeah.
Man, he is an awesome cat. So, hey, let's roll up and be done here. Segment 6, Cattlemen's for Christ tonight. I found Proverbs 14:17. It come to me this week from a text message group I'm in with from Brandon Horn. And it hit me, and it's just kind of stuck with me all week. But Proverbs 14:16 and 17 says, wise people are careful and stay out of trouble, but fools are careless and quick to act. Someone with a quick temper does foolish things, but someone with understanding remains calm. And the little explanation behind this whole thing here, Corey, was talking about flying off the handle, and said that a hammer can do a lot of damage, but if you lose the head of the handle and it flies off, you can't do much. And I thought, so many times at my house, my hammerhead flies off, and when I saw that this week, it really hit home with me. Just what it says right there. Wise people are careful and they stay out of trouble, and don't be a fool and act fast. So just something to think about for the week. So
absolutely,
yeah. What about closing us up here?
You bet. No, everybody out there, feel free to like, follow, and share our page, Cattle Drive Live on Facebook, Instagram. We got them on YouTube channel there. Mm-hmm. And talk to them, Brett, about what we got coming up next week.
Hey, I'm pumped. So next week, guys, we're going to get away from the show barn just a little bit, and we are going to have big time guest, isn't it? Justin McKee, Mr. Cowboy Channel himself, the voice of the PBR, the voice of American Rodeo, is going to come on with us to visit about all things National Finals Rodeo. So those of you watching tonight, join back in next week. You will get to ask Justin some questions, hopefully participate with him. I'm excited. So, but that's all I got, man.
It'll be a blast.
Fun night. Yeah, you bet. Hey, Corey, I don't know about you, but I enjoyed my time. So
you bet. We'll see you again next week, man.
That'd be good. Hey, take care.